I'm Jay Langston. I'm the Executive Director of the Shenandoah Valley Partnership, and we are very fortunate today to be at Massanutten Resort. I'm with Matthias Smith, who is the Vice President and General Manager of Massanutten Resort.
Thank you, Massanutten, for hosting us at Massanutten. Matthias, I'll get it right here sooner or later. But anyway, thanks for hosting us here. And why don't you tell our consultants a little bit about Massanutten?
Well, Jay, I think you certainly got it right, and we're thrilled to be here with you. We think this is a great idea to have cooking, to have food, and what better way to build an appetite than Massanutten Resort.
Yes.
We are 6,000 acres, and we want to welcome you to experience a little bit of Massanutten virtually. We hope it's in person at some point soon. You know, as we were mentioning, Jay, we're about 6,000 acres. 4 seasons resort, and we'll have a little bit of everything for everybody. Some folks like to ski, and we've got an amazing ski program in the winter. That is clearly not the season now. So now we're over to water park season, but we have many other activities that are all the way through year round, including the water park. If you think about mountain biking, and I know you're a daredevil for speed, and I think a few of our consultants might be as well. Hiking is also great. We have over 35 miles of hiking and biking trails. Golf, of course. If you think about a little bit more speed, zip line and canopy tours. Sometimes there's a rainy day and we've got you covered there. We have an escape room, which is fun, and actually 3 of them. Retail, over 8 restaurants, and those will go up and down based on the season, but really something for everybody to do. And then I think more importantly, some place for people to connect after they've enjoyed the activities. And I think when we think about the area, we think about a place to enjoy the outdoors, to have fun, whether it's higher adrenaline or lower adrenaline, and then have a place to connect and remember it all. So we hope that you all come over here and experience it in person. There is so much with 6,000 acres to enjoy, and we're thrilled that you're here. So welcome to you again. Welcome to the partnership, and welcome to the consultants. We're thrilled to be here.
Thank you, Matthias. Really appreciate that. We always love extolling some of the amenities that are in the valley. And this is not only something that's for the tourists, this is something that we can enjoy every day here. So really appreciate it. So with that, I know that everybody is getting hungry, or I certainly hope so. Well, I'm excited about the program that we have together today. For those of you who participated with us in the winter when we did the cookies, don't worry about it. We've got a professional here with us today that I am just going to assist with this virtual cooking show. And I'm going to transition to inside, and we'll be with you in a second. Thank you, Matthias.
My pleasure. Good to see you, Jay.
All right.
Now that I've made the transition, I just want to also add that Massanutten Resort is in very close proximity to a lot of the amenities in the valley, very close to Merck, Molson Coors, many of the manufacturers, some of our smaller towns in the area. So it has a lot to offer, and the location is just perfect. Now, transitioning into the cooking portion, I would like to introduce Jefferson Heatwall, who is one of the founders, the chief sales, strategist, coordinator, director?
I work in sales at Farmer Focus. How about that?
I understand. We really appreciate you being here today. The purpose of this is we want to talk about the food and beverage industry in the valley, but more so, we also want to, basically as an expose on some of the great things that are happening here in the valley and some of the products that are grown here in the valley. Mm-hmm. So with that, Jefferson is going to be doing the cooking this time, not me. We've got the grill already warmed up for you.
Great.
And we're going to prepare the chicken fajitas. And while Jefferson is doing all of the prep, we're going to talk about some of the exciting things that Farmer Focus and the Shenandoah Valley Organic is doing, and you'll hear that story. So Jefferson, I'll let you take it away.
Excellent. Thank you, Jay. And again, honored to be here. Happy to support exciting things that are happening here within the Shenandoah Valley. We have something that's pretty simple, straightforward, grilled chicken tacos, and a lot of the work has already been done Of course, since I'm wearing the shirt and represent Farmer Focus, I'll put this here so you guys can maybe see that. Farmer Focus, we'll talk a little bit about it, but it's a local organic chicken company founded in 2014.
Yes, very recent in the scheme of the ag industry in the Shenandoah Valley.
That is correct. And one of the exciting things, other than being a USDA certified organic and certified humane, as well as there's multiple other claims, but a very wholesome chicken product, is that each of the products that come out under the Farmer Focus brand include a farm ID. So we know that this came from WIND, which I believe is Winshire Farm. Do not know all of them off of memory now, but we've been blessed to be able to add a great deal of additional farmers. So that farm ID list has been increasing. So I guess if we're going to get straight into the magic of television here, we have chicken that's ready to be placed, where we're going to have a marinade that we whisk together. We are going to use.
We have a number of products that are from the Shenandoah Valley that Jefferson is going to be using, and
That
he
is
will
correct.
talk about those.
So what we're going to do is place the olive oil as well as the Shenandoah spice. I believe this is the taco seasoning. This is going to make it nice. Nice covering for our chicken, and then we're simply going to.
And basically, this is a marinade, right?
That's right. That's all this is. It's a quick, simple marinade that we coat the chicken in, and I'll try not to make a royal mess. Typically at home, I do, but
now
let's see what we
playing
can get
off
away
of
with
some
that.
cooking shows, and not that I'm trying to go all professional
There we
here,
go.
but does it need to stay in the marinade any particular length of time?
Really, just a few minutes is going to do the general job of coating the ingredients. What we're trying to do is get a little bit of liquid fat, something that will allow good flavor adhesion. And while we grill, you can always add it afterwards if you really would like to, but it is best to add it at least a few minutes before you cook.
So you add that in, put it in there, let that sit.
That's correct. And now we have some peppers, some onions, we have some jalapenos, and if you would like to, you can also grill tomatoes. We're probably going to just do some fresh tomato slices here
for
for
the
this.
topping.
That's correct. So
save us a little bit of trouble.
That's correct. So again, we're going to make this very, very easy since most of the ingredients have already been pre-chopped. Just make a simple wide cut, something that looks about like this, so it doesn't fall between the grill.
Yep. And these are a variety of peppers that, you know, really to your choice, right? It doesn't.
That's
have to be a
correct. And you can go as
specific
spicy as you'd like. I'm going to throw in a few jalapeno halves here just to make sure that we have the option of spice if you would like it, but not everybody likes it spicy. So we can also make a few small sliced jalapeno options available there at the end if we would like them to be fresh.
Let me see if I can do two things at once. Okay.
That sounds great.
While you are finishing that, let's talk about Farmer Focus for a second.
Let's do it.
Because you really have a remarkable story here in the Valley. Just so that everyone knows, the manufacturing is extraordinarily important to the Shenandoah Valley. The largest sector of that manufacturing is food production, beverage production in the area. And we have approximately 100 companies that are engaged in the food and beverage. We have about 7% of our entire workforce. I mean, manufacturing is our largest private sector employment base. And out of that, the food and beverage sector is the largest component of that. So when you add it up, we have 10 to 12,000 people engaged in just the food side. Farmer Focus is one of those great success stories. They have participated in some of the state's programs, but homegrown. Why don't you tell us about what you have done the last 7 years and what you're doing right now, because it's really a remarkable story. And while you do that, I'll see if I can do this with the jalapeno.
That sounds great. Well, and thank you, Jay. So first and foremost, honored to be part of such a wonderful company story. The vision and mission is truly based on helping generational farmers continue well into the future. It really started with my cousin, Corwin Heatwell. He and myself both grew up in the Valley, in the farming community, and he grew up on a poultry farm, and he had a dream to be able to work directly with farmers to help them be financially successful. Because one of the tough things that unfortunately has not just impacted farmers here in the Valley, but really nationally and abroad, has been that it's become tougher and tougher for family farms to be able to do what some farms have done for hundreds of years. And so even prior to 2014, Corwin was raising organic chickens, and he started talking with other farmers, and he had this concept.
So an early adopter.
That's very true. Very true. And so he began speaking with other farmers that were here in the Shenandoah Valley as well. And he said, how can we create a different model that is sustainable and allows you to be able to thrive? And they said, we would like to own our own chickens. And so in a tweak to what most large companies do, the contract model that we started with allows those farmers to independently own their own chickens, and then they sell them to SVO, Shenandoah Valley Organic.
Excuse me.
Is the the pepper's getting to
the pepper.
So our company name is Shenandoah Valley Organic. The brand name is Farmer Focus, what you see out there in the shelves. So it tells the story so quickly, because truly what makes us different is we do focus on the farmer. That's why the farm ID is there. And so we started in 2014 and have quickly grown from there.
Yes. You are also, being a little humble, you have a major expansion going on right now. You want to talk about that?
Oh, of course. Happy to.
Yeah,
we've been blessed.
And what's the vision that you have for this as well?
Sure. Well, and first, of course, thanks to folks like Michelle who are here today.
We're going to get to Michelle Bridges as one of our guests here shortly.
As well as Brian Shaw, my neighbor. Just got to say howdy. Thanks for all the great work you do in Harrisonburg and the surrounding area. We've been blessed to have a lot of good partners along the way, as well as we couldn't do it without our farmers and our wonderful employees. So we've grown. I believe we started with just over 40 employees in 2014, and now we're honored to say that we have over 500 people on our team. This expansion,
that's amazing.
We're very blessed, and again, so thankful that we've been able to provide an impact to not only the farming community but also the workforce locally. So while we have, through the last 6 years, let's say, gotten close to our capacity with where we're currently located on Liberty Street, what we were blessed to be able to find was some land, and through some grants and collaboration, push this partnership forward to where, as we have been regionally more centered on the East Coast, now we're pressing westward a bit and able to hit, say, the eastern half of the United States with at least some efficiency. And to do that, we needed to be able to have some additional processing capabilities. So we're excited to be opening up probably looks like mid to late fall of this year.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Brian, I know, was very excited about you purchasing about 80 acres or so in their industrial park. One of our locals is also here, Rebecca Castle. She's saying she has some land if you ever need to go a little to the southern portion, in Augusta County. We talk about that as a separate
That sounds great.
Anyway, so, okay, get back to the food.
All right.
Where do we go from here now?
Well, we are just about ready to grill. So what we've done is put a little bit of the additional oil and just a sprinkle of the salt. We will be adding more a little bit afterwards. I always say salt to taste. That way you can add as much as you would like. If you could do the esteemed work of putting those tortillas on that tin foil, I believe we will take that out to the grill. That's right. Just place it on there.
Them all together
right in the middle.
Like they are,
That's
right.
We're gonna grill those up as well, but we're just gonna keep them warm. We're gonna go ahead and start grilling up the veg and the chicken.
Okay.
Now, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. Now, I did turn it down to medium because it was up over 500. So
I'm glad the grill works.
Yes. And do you want these closed up?
You just hand them to me.
I hand it to him just like that.
And I can take everything off camera. Thank you, Jay.
All right. We'll see you very shortly. Thanks, Jefferson.
Thank you.
Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Michelle, you are the project manager for the Virginia Department of Agriculture.
Yes,
You
sir.
know a little bit about this because you are also working for Rockingham County a few years ago, which is, by the way, our largest ag producing locality in Virginia. And Augusta is the second largest. So this is the breadbasket of Virginia in many ways, with 4 of the top 5. So you have worked with Jefferson and Farmer Focus. Let's talk about some of the things that you do to support the ag industry in the area. Now, it's more than just the APHID grant, but I would love for you to talk about APHID, how it came about.
Okay.
The company was one of the earlier adopters, but we also have a great story about the first one that helped generate the APHID program. So with all of that, I've just set you up with all kinds of things that you could talk about. So
Where should I start?
yeah, tell us about how you assist the ag related companies.
Sure, absolutely. So the APHID program is a discretionary performance-based program. And let me back up and say, APHID stands for the Governor's Agriculture and Forestry Industries Development Fund.
Yes.
That is quite a mouthful, so we just use APHID for short, AFID. And it is a discretionary performance-based incentive, economic development incentive that is specifically geared to agriculture and forestry-based businesses that are adding value to Virginia-grown products. That fund is created so that localities can incentivize new or existing businesses that are adding value, like I said, to Virginia-grown products. And hopefully in exchange for that commitment for the new jobs, capital investment, and Virginia-grown purchases, it'll incentivize the locality to expand or to locate here in Virginia.
Yeah. Now, Farmer Focus, or Shenandoah Valley Organic, was one of the first companies that participated in that, as
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
You were probably at Rockingham County, I guess, at the time that.
Which is prior to my time there.
Prior to your time. So what was their engagement when they were starting up with VDAX? And forgive me for those of you who I'm using the acronyms, because your department has a really long title and we often refer to it as VDAX.
So basically, Corwin Heatwell, who Jefferson mentioned earlier, was in contact with the Department of Agriculture, and in recognizing at the time that there was a new program developed, the APHID program, recognized that this was a great opportunity for that incentive fund to go to work and incentivize. Basically, Corwin is a third-generation dairy and poultry farmer. So it's a great opportunity for us to incentivize a new business. And working with them, we recognized that that would be an incentive available through them with the city of Harrisonburg as they started that new business for organic chicken. Here we are today. That was the first award was $50,000, and here we are today. Just in the fall, they have grown significantly since that time, and actually were awarded the program's largest APHID award in the history of the program just in the fall in November, which was $500,000. So they continue to do great work here in the Valley, and it's actually the largest organic poultry producer here in the state of Virginia. So we're very proud of them and their work. And I'd like to take just a teeny bit of credit. The APHID program helped get their start and continue to support them. So very exciting story.
And I do think that that's something that's really important. You heard the vision from Jefferson about how they want to sustain the generational farms here in the Valley, which is not a problem just in Virginia. That's an agricultural problem really in the country. But the fact that you provided essentially some seed money, I mean, for them, and to now have presented them with the largest award to date. And Jefferson was very humble about where they have come, but when you can see the plans that they have when they've taken down the kind of acreage and so forth, the number of people that they have on board, so it's exciting. And you do work all over Virginia in this regard. And you describe some of the projects that people might not think of that you have helped. It's not just, maybe food consumption, but there are other aspects of the food and beverage industry that you assist with the grant.
So we actually work with a variety of businesses, of agriculture and forestry-based businesses across the Commonwealth, as you mentioned. A number of those businesses could be poultry, meat, egg processors, greenhouses, aquaculture projects, which could be with Virginia grown oysters or things like that. Anything with specialty food and beverage manufacturing. So really covers a diverse array of projects. Vineyards that are, opening wineries. We're looking at the production of their grapes into wine. We've incentivized stave mills. The craft beverage industry with barrels. So there's quite a vast array of things we've worked with agriculture and forestry companies to either expand or actually locate here in Virginia.
Yeah, the reason that I get excited when I hear about the stave mill project is Speyside is the company. They make the bourbon barrels here. They are an internationally owned company. They originated in Scotland for producing the Scotch barrels there, which uses the wood, white oak, that has been used in the bourbon processing before it goes over. And we just had recorded a podcast with Maggie Anderson, who works with them, and we did it with Speyside and Maggie and talking about their program, and they did mention the aphid grant in there, so that really hits home for me. So I'm glad that you said it. But you also do more than just the project too, because if I remember correctly, there's also some planning money that can be associated with aphid. Am I correct in that?
Yes, that is correct. That is for the use of localities to work as they just are looking to determine areas of improvement or programs that they can bring together to assist their locality, or it could be a group of localities coming together to work on things such as maybe a farmer's market or areas of other improvements that they can make. So there's a lot of growth opportunities with the planning grant, but it is specifically set aside for localities, whereas the facility grant then is for companies.
And I think that you just said something important, is that there's some of the work that you do is more community development based type of work too. It's a little broader than what we traditionally do in economic development, but it helps those communities, like you said, with the farmers market and so forth. What are some of the other projects that you're working on that in the greater, just beyond, beyond aphid grants? It's not all just incentive driven, but some of the other types of businesses that you're working with.
We work with a number of exciting businesses over the life of the program since 2013. Some of the neat ones, I think back to one out of Loudoun County that was an apple strudel producer. Really neat project that came through and using Virginia grown apples to make authentic Austrian apple strudels. I mentioned earlier the Speyside project where they're using Virginia grown white oak to manufacture staves for their bourbon barrel production. We've worked with a number of exciting projects though, like through the aquaculture industry, working with Virginia oysters. Peanut production is another one, but really across the Commonwealth, we've worked with a number of exciting ag and forestry development projects. Another one would be right in Augusta County with the development of Shamrock Foods. A large dairy producer or manufacturer. And we work with Rockingham County, just recently had a couple of aphid awards. One was with Smiley's Ice Cream, where they are using 100% Virginia dairy products in the production of their gourmet ice creams that they're offering there. Incredible if you've not been there.
I was just going to say, for those of you, it is not even hardly a regional brand, but Smiley's Ice Cream is the best. It's just fantastic. I took my wife there this past weekend for a little bit of a treat. It was deserved. We were trying to complete the house. She deserved every bit of it. Also, greenhouses. That's something that a lot of people don't think about, but that's a pretty sizable industry here, and you've done some work. I know.
And we're actually right now seeing a number of projects come through with hydroponic farming as we see the industry move a lot more into indoor growing, vertical growing structures. We're seeing a lot of projects come through with that, some really neat opportunities for entrepreneurs to bring about hydroponic projects, whether they're growing leafy greens and some are starting to grow strawberries, tomatoes, other type vegetables that you might not necessarily think. Most oftentimes people think of leafy greens, but there's a number of vertical grow operations that we've been working with, and a few of which we've already supported with the program.
Yeah. And you work very closely with Virginia Economic Development Partnership.
Yes, that's correct.
As
We work
well.
very closely with the Virginia Economic Development Partnership and work together to provide the most attractive incentive package that we can to expanding companies or new companies coming into Virginia. So it's been a great partnership that we've had the opportunity to work with them.
Yeah. And what is, I think, really beneficial for you to know is that these programs overlay one another. They can be used in coordination and in collaboration. It's not a one versus the other type of situation.
Bring together the most aggressive package that we can to benefit a new or existing company.
Yeah. Anything else that we should know about it?
It's a great program, and we want folks to continue to locate specialty food and beverage projects in Virginia, and other, there's all sorts of greenhouse operations, aquaculture, forestry projects. We're looking to help folks out. So give us a call and let us see what we can do.
Yeah, we definitely will. Definitely
Sounds
will.
great.
I know that I'm watching the grilling outside, and I know that that's getting pretty close. So we'll be transitioning back into that here in a moment. Jefferson, how's the chicken looking?
Great. I'm a little warm because it's a warm day and I was over a hot grill, but glad to be back in the AC with you.
I will say it's better for everybody that's watching that you were doing that rather than me. So I really appreciate it. So now that you've taken it off and you've let it rest a little, is that
That's
proper
right.
word?
That's a proper word. Absolutely.
Where are we going from here?
Well, we
What do
made
we
it
do
nice and
now?
easy. We have, if you have plates.
I have
do.
2 plates here.
Excellent. So why don't you grab one of the tortillas?
Okay.
You first.
I was going to give this to you.
All right.
Then
Well, then, hey, no, then that can reciprocate. Here we go. Teamwork. So we have different peppers. Obviously, these jalapenos are the hot ones. We have some salsa sitting here to the side. What I'd recommend is take whatever veggies you would like and just simply place them on the tortilla.
And I should say that these tortillas are made here in the Valley. It's the Ula tortillas that are made in the Waynesboro area, and they are the product of a small program called Grow Waynesboro that the city of Waynesboro had, and this was a startup.
And I must
them.
mention, I believe I've tried all of the other Virginia products that are here. I've not tried them yet. I can't wait to, though, because it smelled so great on the grill.
Perfect.
So,
Yep. Continue, please.
if you would grab some veg and chicken, and
Yep.
then simply what I'd recommend is if you'd like to add extra salt, you can do that.
Okay. Not for me.
I myself will just grab some salsa,
All right.
sprinkle it on there, and then
I'm
we will
gonna
be
do
ready
that.
to go.
And I have I'm going to get a little more chicken.
Yeah, help
why
yourself.
not,
We
right?
can always cut more.
That's right. And for everybody, of course, the cheese
Of
and sour
course.
cream if you want.
Grew up on a dairy
Please.
farm. I'm going to support the
You can
dairy
support the
industry.
dairy industry. Yes,
Yes,
I'll go to the cheese first, and I'll swap with you there, and then
Excellent.
I'm going to get
Double support
the
industry.
salsa. Yes, thank
Call that a
you.
good trade.
And of course, this is never going to fit all in my tortilla, but a common problem because it's always so good to.
Isn't that the fun of a taco? though?
Absolutely,
Honestly,
though.
it needs to make a little bit of a mess. Otherwise, you're
Absolutely.
not doing tacos the right way.
Yep, and the salsa. I can't let that go. So I'll try that.
I'm going to be brave and grab one of these jalapenos. Let's do it.
Yes, and since I insisted upon it, I'm going to have to do the same thing. We'll see if I start going into a coughing fit again here in a second. This is going to be messy,
All right, that's okay.
but napkins.
You know me too well, Jay.
That's what I always forget. Let's see. I'm trying to put it all together because now I'm focused on food about this. I did talk about the tortillas, and we've already sliced the chicken. And basically now it's, do you like pouring it into the glass or another
We do a
product.
cheers with the shameless
Cheers.
product placement. On a
Pro-
hot day like today, a
Hot
cold
day like
Virginia
today.
beer sounds excellent.
Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager, an excellent beer made here in the Valley, now available pretty much nationwide.
Basically, anyway.
So with this, cheers. I hope that you've enjoyed it. We are going to have a question and answer session, which we're all available to answer the questions because I can't do it all, but I'm going to dig in
Let's do it.
after I have a drink. Hot day, perfect with the tortilla, right?
That's right.
And let's see if I can do this with some
Just
semblance
to be clear,
of grace.
are we eating on camera?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yes, we are. Mm.
We can make extra.
Now
for
I'm
everybody,
like,
too.
now I know how Guy Fieri does this on television. This is great.
Good.
I don't know all the thing about the acids and the sweetness and all of that stuff though, but it really is good. So I hope that you enjoyed the cooking portion of this. We're excited to bring a little fun, we hope, to your lives. We love showcasing the products that we have here in the Valley. We love showcasing the businesses, the entrepreneurship, the dedication, the vision that our citizens and producers have. We really appreciate you coming on board and making this look professional, more so than if I'd tried to do it myself, that's for sure, but really love what you're doing as a company and in the Valley and with your products and where you want to go. So thank you
No, thank
very,
you.
very much.
Honored to be here.
Yes. I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to transition. If you have questions, I am going to go to my computer now and feel free to ask me. I'm taking my Devil's Backbone with me. It will help with the answers, and I'll be with you in a couple of minutes. Thanks. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you.